about the ionized water story. How does this come? What is the history? Ionized water, well, they started, back in the 1930s doing research here and there, agriculture and whatnot, seeing some awesome stuff. Hey, well, let's have some humans drink this. Maybe it could be good too. They saw some cool stuff, especially with the gastrointestinal symptoms, diarrhea, constipation, these types of things. They went to the government in 1965, and it was approved, as you know, as a medical device to help with the symptoms of those things. That's it. That's all it was. So now in Japan, they are considered a medical device. You cannot manufacture water ionizer or sell them without the certification. That's Japanese law. Same thing in Korea. The Korean FDA, that's the Korean Federal Drug Agency, if they're approved. You cannot do that there in the FDA because of the government. But that doesn't mean it was anything special. It was just about, it had these symptoms, for gastrointestinal symptoms and whatnot. But then the patients and people started buying the ionized water, and they're like, and drinking it, and they were starting getting better from diabetes, Parkinson's, all these things, all these clinical improvements. Especially in 1985 or so, all these clinical improvements started happening. All these doctors in Japan and whatnot were like, oh my goodness, how is this water really helping? What's going on here?
Yo, what is going on? This is your boy Jonathan Tague. I got my brother Andrew with me. We're over here at Boggs Garden in Greensboro, North Carolina right now. And I figured I would record this quick video for y'all because I get a lot of people that ask me, hey, I know you drink that good old 9.5 Kangen water, but who else does? Can you name some other people that I may actually know that drink it too? And that's exactly why I'm recording this video. So, some of the other people, just off the top of my head, that love this water, consume this water, give a lot of their credit to this water, or...
Hello, I'm Jed Roth. I'm with Purative, and we're here today in Orlando at the ACIM show, October 24th, 2015. And I'm here with Tyler LeBaron, the president of the Molecular Hydrogen Foundation. So Tyler, how's the show going for you so far?
Well, it went well. Yesterday I gave a lecture on molecular hydrogen and its therapeutic potential and gave a brief overview on that. The feedback was great, and it's been enjoyable so far. A lot of interest.
People like Bill Gates, whom owns 48 of these machines, by the way. You got Barack Obama, owns 8 of the machines. Les Brown, the public well-known speaker. You got Demi Moore, Brad Pitt, Beyonce, Tiger Woods, Oprah Winfrey, I'm pretty sure you know her, Angelina Jolie, Julia Roberts, Steven Seagal, Leonardo DiCaprio, how are y'all doing? Jennifer Lopez, the President of the United States. Who is this? Who?
Barack Obama.
No, okay, no, Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump is the president currently. You got, you got Madonna, Jack Nicholson, Antonio Banderas, John Mayer, the entire Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Tell me, what are some of the real benefits of active hydrogen?
Active hydrogen, or molecular hydrogen, better said, it's a gas. It's hydrogen gas, right? That's what they use for alternative fuel source. It's what you can make a balloon go up with. It's just a gas, and you can inhale the gas, or you can put it into water. I know you have tablets you can simply add to water, and it produces the hydrogen gas through a reaction. But basically, this hydrogen gas has been shown in many articles. There's over 600 peer-reviewed articles now that are showing the therapeutic benefits and its potential in about 150 different human and animal disease models, and essentially every organ of the human body. So some of the main things that hydrogen gas is showing is its ability to help mitigate or reduce oxidative stress. And there's a couple methods that it does that. One of them is via its direct radical scavenging activity. And it's actually acts more of a selective antioxidant, and it selectively reduces not all oxidants, not all radicals, because some radicals we need, but it selectively reduces the most cytotoxic ones, such as the hydroxyl radical. So that's one way it helps to mitigate this oxidative stress. And another method is by helping our bodies to maintain its own endogenous antioxidants like glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and other peptides or enzymes. And it also appears to have some cell modulating activities to help downregulate things like NADPH oxidase, which actually produces free radicals. So hydrogen has many, many effects. There are actually over 200 biomolecules that I have found as I reviewed the literature and whatnot, where hydrogen gas is able to increase or decrease these levels. And so it appears to have some sort of signal modulated activity. Because hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the universe, right? So it's going to be able to get through those containers of those plastic bottles easier than anything. And so it's very difficult to contain hydrogen gas. And that, of course, speaks to its bioavailability, if you will. That's why it's able to diffuse into the cells, the mitochondria, the subcellular compartments, the blood-brain barrier, and where it can do its magic, if you will.
You got Carlos Santana, an old president, Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, Ashton Kutcher, Sylvester Stallone. You got Anthony Robbins, the magician, Chris Angel, Sammy Hagar, Ron Perlman, love that dude, Jillian Michaels, the main man, Chuck Norris, okay? Of all people. If Chuck Norris drinks it, that's enough for me right there. Yeah. You got Martha Stewart, she owns 4 machines, George Lucas, the whole Obama family, Jay-Z, Steven Tyler, Aerosmith has 7 machines. You got Toby Keith, Roger Daltrey, Steve Harris, Betty Ford, the actual Betty Ford Center, which what they do is they're a center for treatment of drugs, alcohol, addictions, pain.
What benefits would someone experience from taking molecular hydrogen?
Well, the benefits are enormous, but everybody is different. Some people may consume the molecular hydrogen and not really notice anything. It is more of a long-term thing to help mitigate oxidative distress, inflammation. However, many people I know have taken hydrogen and have noticed remarkable benefits literally within hours, maybe significantly less pain, significantly less inflammation. Many people who have brain problems, stroke, neurological disorders, those ones may tend to take, some weeks or whatnot. Again, not everyone is going to notice something, but that doesn't mean the hydrogen gas isn't doing something for them, because that's what hydrogen gas does, acting as this antioxidant effect via reducing selectively these hydroxyl radicals or other cell modulating activities.
I see. The doctors we've worked with have had a lot of success with the Active H2 product. What would you recommend as sort of a way that they could introduce this to their patients and get the most benefit out of it?
Well, I guess the simplest thing is for them to understand that hydrogen gas, first off, is something very natural and very safe. There's a lot of cutting new ideas and theories out there. A lot of them may be extremely therapeutic. A lot of them may not work at all. But regardless, what is the safety? And when we consider hydrogen gas, the safety is very high. You and I were talking earlier, and I was explaining how they've used it in deep sea diving since the 1940s to prevent decompression sickness. So they've done tons of human studies and animal studies and tissue studies and organ studies and cell studies, and really there's no toxic effects that has been shown so far. So with that in mind, that's something that's very safe. And then, of course, the fact that there are literally hundreds of scientific articles and about 30 to 40 human studies showing these therapeutic benefits, it's something that I can certainly see every practitioner wanting to give to their patients and get them on hydrogen. It may have some synergistic benefits to help mitigate other drugs or chemotherapy drugs or other treatments or detoxification programs or whatnot that they may be on, because the hydrogen gas again helps to mitigate these inflammation markers, these pro-inflammatory cytokines, the excessive free radicals, and all the other cell modulated activities that it offers.
So if the person is taking prescriptions or other supplements, there's really no contraindication or reason they couldn't take Active H2.
So far, that's what the research suggests. And again, I mentioned the deep sea diving, but even more natural, more close to home than that is just the fact that we always have basal levels of hydrogen gas in our blood and in our breath. That is because every time we eat a meal, specifically a meal that contains fiber, something that's healthy for you, our intestinal bacteria will actually digest that fiber and produce hydrogen gas. And so we're always having that in our blood. We're always exposed to that all the time. So again, it's something very natural. So far, yeah, it appears that there's no real contraindication of taking hydrogen gas in conjunction with other supplements or regimens.
That's great. That's good. That's great. And
You got Pat Boone, the main man Conan O'Brien, the Eisenhower Medical Center. Now, y'all gonna hear this come up quite oftenly because there's a lot of like hospitals, medical centers that serve this water to help with recovery and all kinds of stuff. Billy Idol, George Lopez, Linda Gray, Ryan Seacrest, the Chilean miners. If you don't know, that was the rescue mission where the Chilean government was so pleased with the results that they have with this water that they put it on all the naval vessels. You got Cindy Blackman, Rowan Marley, the son of Bob Marley. You got Carola Gonzalez, a Hollywood star. Natasha Bedingfield, Gerald Bresnahan, which if you don't know who that is, which many people don't, but he's actually the doctor for Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George Bush, the Pope, Queen Elizabeth. I mean, and then you got elite sports stars. So not only the like political people. Yeah.
what do you see? There's an opportunity to combine Active H2 with other products, other supplements to form new products as well, correct?
Yeah, again, I suppose that because there's no contraindication, there may be some synergism going on. I know there are a number of studies showing hydrogen gas can prevent the negative side effects of conventional chemotherapy drugs. For those patients who are choosing that route of chemotherapy, for example, which can be very damaging, hydrogen gas may help attenuate a lot of those negative side effects. And so in conjunction maybe with, like you said, other detoxification regimens that some of these practitioners put their patients on for whatever reason, they may have side effects that are not good for the body because it's so toxic, or whatever that they're doing, the supplements they're taking or the regimen they're on. Furthermore, the supplements that are designed to be therapeutic, hydrogen gas may enhance their efficacy. We do see that it does not appear to be a contraindication for anything, and because it's so natural, we have basal levels. I don't see a reason to say for people to not take it in conjunction with other supplements.
In your talk, you mentioned that NASA had used molecular hydrogen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, they are looking into using molecular hydrogen or hydrogen-rich water, just making water with hydrogen gas in it, similar to your tablets, and they could use that to actually help protect the astronauts during space travel, because when you're in space, you get a lot of radiation. That radiation can be very damaging, creates lots of hydroxyl radicals and other oxidative distress, can be very damaging to your DNA, RNA, protein, cell membranes, and of course every disease can be linked to these free radicals. Of course, not all free radicals are bad, as we discussed. Hydrogen gas is a selective antioxidant, but the fact that the hydrogen gas can help attenuate this excessive amount of oxidative distress seems to be a very simple, safe, and easy method for the astronauts to use to potentially provide a protection for them. The ability for hydrogen to help attenuate the cognitive decline that often happens with old age.
Talk a little bit about the role of molecular hydrogen in sports, both for recuperating effects and reducing trauma.
So again, more studies need to be done in this area. I know there are a lot of athletes, both elite and amateur, that are taking molecular hydrogen for sports improvement, sports recovery, sports conditioning, because they're seeing phenomenal results. There are a number of studies that are showing that hydrogen gas may mitigate the fatigue that is often seen with a strong exercise. Some of the studies are showing that there's actually a decrease in lactate or lactic acid, some people say, production. And the reason for that may be because hydrogen gas may be able to stimulate the mitochondria and help it work better, function better. And if you have a better working mitochondria, then that pyruvate that is produced via glycolysis upon the metabolism of glucose, that it gets shuttled into the mitochondria, acetyl-CoA, as opposed to be converted to lactate. And so that suggests that maybe the mitochondria is working a little bit better. And there's some other studies, there's one from traumatic brain injury, for example, that with these compromised mitochondria, hydrogen gas is able to upregulate the various complexes in the mitochondria, complex 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these complexes are important to making what's called the proton gradient and then subsequently ATP production. And the study did show that there was an increased amount of ATP production. And ATP, of course, that is the energy currency of the cells. And that's what athletes and everyone need is this ATP. And so the ability for hydrogen gas to stimulate the mitochondria, help with ATP production, to all of these methods and many others, including the reduction of oxidative stress, may all help the athlete both in performance and in recovery.
Yeah, you got the entire Seattle Seahawks. Freaking Tom Brady, the best quarterback hands down in NFL ever. Then you got some good old backup quarterbacks too, like Kurt Warner, who's up there. You got Donovan McNabb, he drinks the water. Shaquille O'Neal, NBA 3-time MVP. Now, Magic Johnson owns 8 machines. Now, he had AIDS, right? Mm-hmm. And they said he was gonna die he should have been dead already, right?
Yeah, of course.
But he's still alive. It might be the Kangen water, who you already know. The LA Lakers, you got the New York Yankees, Phil Mickelson, you got the LA Dodgers, you got the Cincinnati Reds. These are complete teams that, kind of part of their contract, they have to drink the water because they realize that the water actually helps with the recovery so quick, and it actually keeps them on the field so they're not missing game time. They're not being sick all the time. You got Joe Daddy Stevenson, a UFC fighter. Carlos Moore, he's a Puma runner. Adrian Wilson, a safety for the Arizona Cardinals. Carlos Dansby. Landon Wilson, the hockey player. Reggie Jackson. 3 world champions in bodybuilding. You got freaking Dan Hill, Wade Lightheart, Tony Freeman, and others like Dr. Hiromi Shinya. Now, this is only a few of the bigger names that consume this water, and the reason for this video is to show you that the rich and famous have money, but it's worthless without good health, and they understand that. That's why in most cases, these guys employ people to research the best ways to stay healthy. Health experts have concluded that Kangen water is the best water and product for for your overall health. So you and I may not have as much money as Bill Gates yet. Not yet.
No, not yet.
All right.
Not yet.
But we can certainly drink the same water.
Mocked me because I fell victim to a scam, a pyramid scheme, and did this whole thing. And I was hurt a little bit because I knew there was something more to this water. I believed in it. And I wanted to show there was more than this. And I try to say some testimonials, that I've heard and my mom had, because she said she could run better with the water. Of course, that doesn't pass muster with a scientist. And it doesn't pass muster with me either. However, it is interesting. I like to hear testimonials. Anyways, they said the only way to really know is to do a study. And then you can know if this really helps you with exercise performance. Don, you were just asking earlier about, exercise and whatnot. This is the very study that I did. I took, by myself, no mentor or anything, I did a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. That is, I took one group of people and another group of people, and I randomized who got the water and who didn't. I didn't know who was who. I had other people helping me do the study. They drank the water for a week, and then I had them run at a really hard pace for as long as they could until they had to stop. The other group did the same thing. And then I switched them, and they switched waters and did the same thing. And then I did a statistical analysis to see if there was any significant difference. Indeed, there was. Those on the water ran longer, and they recovered faster than those not drinking the hydrogen water. Then I took those results and I presented at the undergraduate senior research conference. And my posted there, and guess who also were judges and people there at the research conference?
Your professors.
Those same professors. Those same ones. And they're like, well, this will be interesting. They're going to, So they took a look at my methodology, my procedure, how I put the study together to find the flaws, the confounds, all these different things. They didn't find a single problem. And they said, this is very interesting. And they asked for a copy of my study. And I sent that to them. And then I really started immersing myself into the literature. And that's when I came across hydrogen water. I started coming across hydrogen gas, and that's what the real benefit is. And I started sharing that with my professors and talking about it. And of course now I was going to really advance into my knowledge in chemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, molecular and cell biology, physiology, exercise physiology, nutritional biochemistry, all of these classes. I have over 180 credits, and I majored in biochemistry, that's what my degree is in. I tutored biochemistry for like 2 years and tutored an advanced physiology class for another 2 years. And I was given an opportunity to be an adjunct instructor of physiology at Brigham Young University, Idaho, which I've been doing now for a year. This is my last semester. I love teaching. I love interacting with people. And my passion has always been in this hydrogen for the past 5 years. I've been very dedicated to this. And so my great relationship, those professors, that's my biology department. Those are my colleagues. They're my good friends now. They drink the hydrogen water now.
So there you go. Some of the big names we all know and respect that drink the Kangen water. And I encourage you to do your own Google, YouTube research to verify all this info in this video. Because as you do well know, all the info you find online is 100% inaccurate. So enjoy your day, and if you have any additional questions about this water, be sure to reach out to me or whoever showed you this video. I'll holla.